Hello everyone, once again, welcome to another REGARTIS webinar. My name is Stano Gajdoš, and I'm joined here by our experts, Jana Eliášová. Hi, Yana.
Hi.
Yana Trubitsyna.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
And Grohsová. Hi.
Hello.
Today we are going to talk about the candidate list. Recently, n-Hexane has been included together with Bisphenol AF, and that prompts multiple questions. So let's talk the immediate compliance impact. Firstly, we are nearing our flagship event of the year, which is the Prague Chemicals Management Cruise, which is a conference, but it didn't fit into the name. So it's a cruise there is echo. Okay, I'll try to talk close to the microphone then. Thank you, Christina, for letting me know. Should the issue persist, let me know. So, PCMC 2026 is being held in April this year, and we are aiming to welcome the top regulatory folk from Europe and beyond, and we'll be very excited to meet you there as well. I'm getting my own echo now. Okay. Still echo. All right. Test 1, 2, 3. Hello. Oh, is your microphone on? No, it's not.
No.
Having 2 Zoom calls running. Leave one of them. I don't have any echo. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry. Our correction, or like test PC, doesn't show an echo, and so let's see if this works. No echo on my side, Martin. Thank you. Okay, so apologies for the delay. Christina, if the issue persists, I will get in touch with you once I finish talking, and I'll have some space to operate technical issues. Oops. There we go. So first of all, I will run through this introduction. We are already doing this, but then we will have a few short talks by Jana, and Linda. It's very easy to remember. And then we hope to focus more on the discussion today. And with this, I want to also mention that this webinar is being recorded, and the presentation slides will be made available, similarly to our past webinars, recordings of which you can already find on our YouTube channel. This isn't our first one, and hopefully not the last one as well. So if you want to maybe listen passively, you can always do so on the YouTube as well. For some reason, it doesn't register me. Okay. Technical difficulties, everyone. So this is something that we are doing in-house, and whoever you see on screen now is everyone involved in this webinar. There is no more background, there is no backstage, so bear with us, please. Okay. n-Hexane on a candidate list. Jana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Stano.
Enjoy, everyone.
Nice introduction, and we will start with our webinar presentation. This webinar is focused on n-Hexane on candidate list, but generally on SVHC substances and impact on the market or on your obligations. I will start with overview of obligations, and I will show you some processes, and then Jana will talk about current situation, about news in SVHC list, and finally Linda, because she is sales, she will focus on money as usual. First step, or my first information is about regulations, which we will talk about. It's our favorite regulation, REACH. which is for registration, evaluation, authorization, and restriction of chemicals. So it's very, very common regulation for us. We will focus on Article 57, especially SVHC substances, and probably also annexes, Annex 14, Annex 17. Also Article 31, which is regarding safety data sheets, etc., etc. CLP, it's a regulation for classification, labeling, and packaging. And we will talk about Annex 6, which means harmonized classification, as well as Annex 1, which is rules for classification of substances. And last but not least is directive on waste, which established obligation for us notification to SCIP database. We have some good news maybe for us, but not very good. So Jana will talk about, and maybe it will be first surprise for you. I mentioned SVHC. For information, what is SVHC is there are substances of very high concern, which are established by article or identified by Article 57 of REACH. There are substances which meet criteria for a CMR, that means carcinogenic, mutagenic, and toxic for reproduction, category 1A and 1B. Substances PBT means persistent, bioaccumulative, and toxic. Substances very persistent and very bioaccumulative means VP, and substances of equivalent concern. It means, for example, endocrine disruptors, inhalation sensitivity, etc., etc., and substances which has properties very similar to PBT, VPVB, etc., but not fulfill the criteria. But these substances are also hazardous. So it's a little bit difficult to identify, but it could be a lot of possibilities and a lot of hazard classes. So we will show you in the future, because it's not just this type of hazard, but it's also other. These substances are listed on candidate list. It's named candidate list of SVHC substances for authorization. This candidates it's for authorization but it's not directly banned. It's just potential for future actions. It's also it's not just for authorization, but these substances also could be regulated by other possibilities, for example, restrictions. So these substances are candidate for future problem. Also, it's named as a list of shame or with some more expressive names, but it's a list of substances with big hazard, and it's very focused by the authorities, and these substances are maybe better don't used, but if it's possible, but if not, it's must be used, but with some restrictions, some very, very carefully. Now there is a very small, it's a short information how substances are listed on SVHC. Substances with potential or hazard properties, which are mentioned in Annex 57, are proposed on a list of proposal or list of intentions, and it's evaluated by member state authorities, by ECHA, by experts, etc., etc. And if it's a possibility that substance has potential to be SVHC, there are public consultations. It's this for this type public consultation takes about 45 days, and all stakeholders can consult on public opinions and documents, etc., etc. And this opinions or this consultation is applied or is evaluated by member states committees. It's RAC, SEAC, etc., etc. And on the end, it's possibility that the substance is on the candidate list or not. So if substance is on the candidate list, there are some other obligations which we will inform about. This process can take months or years. But it's typically it's about 2 years. So it's starting for potential hazard substances started in 0 time. Its first step is to be on the SVHC is to about 2 years, but it could be quickly or shorter or longer, depends, and it's not possible to say it before. So a standard time is 2 years. If substance is on the SVHC list, is a candidate for authorization. That means that if it is a process, and on the end of the process, substance is on the authorization list. I will show you how the process of including substance on the authorization works. But this is one possibility. Also, is a possibility that substance SVHC is not regulated anymore. So also possibility, but it's not very usual. Also substance, but not just SVHC, but substance with other hazard classes could be restricted. It means could be on the Annex XIV, but it's not just substance, but it's possible to be just use or group of hazardous substances, for example, CMR substances or some other substances which are restricted for public use. So there are also possibility, but it's not just SVHC substances, but other substances, other hazards. It's very, very difficult to find it, but we today focused on SVHC substances. But for me, it's very important to know that also as other possibilities for other substances which can be restricted or regulated by other way. So Jana will talk about more details. So there are so 2 possibilities: authorization list, or 3 possibilities: authorization list, restriction list, or no regulation. How inclusion on SVHCs of SVHC substance in Annex 14 works? There are few steps. First step is prioritization. Priority has substances with PBT or VPBB properties, wired, used, and high volumes. Maybe we will talk about n-Hexane. I think it could be a high volume used substance, so it will be under priorities. Second step is draft of recommendation. The draft establish sunset dates, last application date, review periods, or some extended uses. We will talk about also later, but it's just a recommendation. And then it's public consultation, or it's not just public consultation, but it's consultation with experts, with member states committees, etc., etc. And on the end of this consultation is opinion, which is evaluated, and finally, if there are strong recommendation or proofs of the hazard class hazard properties. They are ECHA finalize the recommendations and add the substance on the authorization list. And then are established also sunset dates and a last date application date. And from these dates is the substance banned, and use is possibly only under authorization. The authorization process is or process of evaluation of authorized or authorization documentation is complicated, long, very expensive, time-consuming, etc., etc. If you are interested in this process, please send us a message. We will prepare maybe more details webinar because it's I think it's not we have no time for explain everything. And maybe a good news is in REACH review is thinking about changing this process because process of authorization is it's complicated, and it's not just for industry but also for ECHA, for committees, etc., etc. So they are focused on changing this process, and maybe the better way is with restrictions, not just authorization, but maybe for restrictions. The next, and this process takes normally or usually 2 years, but it could be longer. Depends on priority, depends on possibilities, depends on proofs, etc., etc. So it's just, but we know that's about 2 years. So from this time when n-Hexane was is on a list, we have maybe minimum 2 years to preparing for the next steps. As I mentioned, other possibility is to be the substance included on a restriction list. It means Annex XVII. The process is very similar, but from start is maybe notification of intention, and this notification could be from member states, from ECHA, from European Commission, from maybe from other groups. I'm not sure, but it's the first step. It's the intention to restrict. As I mentioned before, it's not just restriction of substance, but it could be group of substance, group of classifications groups, some special use, for example, for toys or etc. So it's intention. Then it's preparing dossier, which according to Annex 15, which there are some strict rules with how to prepare the dossier, and dossier is preparing by authorities. It's not preparing by industry. It's by authorities. Next step is to check if all information are in the dossier and the dossier is evaluated. Then, as usual in other processes, is public consultation. Next from this results is RAC and SACS. It's Risk Assessment Committee and Social Economic Analysis Committee, which are evaluating the results from the public consultation or dossier, etc., etc. And then the final decision is to include the substance or use or the intent on the list of restrictions. So you can see that there's a lot of possibilities and lot of processes which your substance could be restricted in any way. And it's very important to monitor your substance, but not just the substance which is on the list of SVHC, but substances with some big or strong hazard class. So be very active if you are producing or using the substances, and if you will follow us on our social redes anytime anyway, you will inform. So because it's very important to be informed and monitor your substances, because you don't know what will in future do with your substances. So be prepared, because it's very important. And now it's over to Yana, and she will talk about news in SVHC substances.
Thank you. Thank you, Yana, for this overview. It's really a lot of information. And as you can see, you cannot be sure that something happens today or tomorrow, but for sure, we are doing our best as humanity, maybe, to make the substances, make our world safer place. So this is actually why all these processes are happening. I will be talking about candidate list news, what was new this February, and then we will talk about the obligations that you might face if you have SVHC substance in your portfolio. So probably it will not be a surprise for you that there were 2 new entries in the candidate list this February. One of them is n-Hexane, which is why we are here. The second one is the substance that I'm not going to pronounce. And why I'm saying that there were not substances but entries is because when we're talking about n-Hexane, it's clear this is one substance that has been added to the list because there was a change of harmonized classification. I will talk about it a little bit more next slides. And the second one, you can see here the substance and its salts. So it means it's a group of substances which are
For discussion.
Thanks. Yeah, which basically have some same properties of concern. So this is why they are all in one entry. Here on the slide you can see the hazards. They have the hazards that for n-Hexane. And there was a change. There is the specific target organ toxicity after the repeat exposure. This is a category 2 hazard. And from the 1st of May 2026, there is the hazard is becoming more strict, becoming let's say worse. So it's the reason why the reason of inclusion to the candidate list. Jana was talking about all the potential reasons for substances to be added to the candidate list. So basically, as you can see, it can be some change in the classification, and this triggers the inclusion to the candidate list. And what can you do when you suddenly one more important thing is that the candidate list is updated approximately twice per year. So normally during the winter and during the summer, you need to monitor it even more closely. And of course, some substances can be included to this list even not in this period, but in some other time. But the winter and summer are times when you really need to take care of it, really need to monitor. And of course, you have to follow the list of intentions, which can, let's say, give you some hint if there will be some inclusion or not. So let's talk about next steps. You have n-Hexane or some other substance that was included to the SVHC list. What should you do? It will depend, first of all, on what are you doing with the substance, how you're using it, if it's a substance or mixture or article. So in general, if you have the substance that is included to SVHC list or candidate list for inclusion, first that you have to do is to update your SDS, and you need to communicate this change to your supply chain and make sure that your suppliers receive this information that there is the SVHC substance, and you always need to keep monitoring your substance status. If it's a mixture component, again, you need to update the SDS, monitor the substance. We will talk about it a bit more in details, and then it can be also incorporated into the article. So you need to inform your supply chain again. You need to notify the article into the SCIP database in case that you have the article with SVHC substance in concentration more than 0.1%. Then there is one more obligation. I will talk about it. It seems like this sentence is not finished, but that's because it's too many conditions. So I left it for the separate slide. And of course, yes, keep monitoring your substance status. So if you are dealing with a substance which is on the candidate list, you have to update your SDS, and basically you have to revise it. And the revised version should be identified as you see it on the slide, revision and date of the revision. And you need to provide it to not only to your new customers, but also to everyone to whom you have supplied the substance or mixture within the preceding 12 months. This obligation is very, let's say, similar to the situation when we are dealing with the mixture component. However, here you also need to check Annex 1 of CLP, check the criteria of classification, and check the specific concentration limits. There are special tables for different types of substances or hazards. And the same, you need to revise your SDS and provide it to your customers. And then also you can incorporate your SVHC substance to the article, maybe because of technical reasons, maybe it was done intentionally or not. If you're importing the article with SVHC substance to Europe, you also need to ask your suppliers, even from non-EU countries, because you are the person who is responsible for the import. So it's your obligation to know what exactly do you have in your article. So you need to check the concentration of SVHC. If it is over 0.1%, you need to act. So first of all, you don't need the SDS. This is a good news that for articles, there is no obligation to have the safety data sheet. However, there are other obligations. First of all, you need to inform your supply chain. And according to Article 33 of REACH, you need to provide the sufficient information available to you as a supplier to allow the safe use of article, which includes as a minimum the name of that substance. Of course, if you know more, it's a good practice to provide all the information you have, like concentration, where exactly it is located, why it was added to the article. Then there is a notification obligation. We will talk about it just on the next slide. And also very important and very uncertain information is that with the recent omnibus package, there are talks that the SCIP database can be cancelled, which doesn't mean that you will not have this notification obligation. However, we don't really know right now what will happen, how this data will be used, if they will be transferred somewhere, or we cannot say for sure. I'm personally a big fan of digital product passports project, but I really hope that all the data that were collected by lots of companies will not just disappear. I hope there will be some good news for those. So here is the obligations, notification obligations for article component. If it's SVHC substance, and Stano is showing me that that it's 10:30. So Stano, how much time do I have to talk about this, or should I make it very short?
Yeah, we wanted to focus on discussion. It's okay, but
Yeah.
as long as Linda also has something to say,
It'll be short.
okay.
All right. So I basically have just 2 more slides. And if you're interested in more details, or if you find this confusing, let us know, and we can discuss that even after the webinar. Email us or send us some message. So basically, we have 2 notification obligation when we're talking about the article which contains SVHC substance. The only same thing here is that we are talking about concentration over 0.1%. And then first notification is coming from first obligation is coming from Waste Framework Directive, which is the notification to the SCIP database when you have to notify the substance before notify the article before you are placing it on the market. If you just find out that you're placing it on the market and there is SVHC substance, you need to do it as soon as possible. And then there is also the notification to ECHA if the following conditions are met, which is concentration over 0.1% and over 1 ton per year in all articles that were produced or imported. And there are also exemptions when you don't have to do this notification to ECHA. It's when you can exclude the exposure, or when the substance is already registered for this use, and this does not mean registered by you or by someone in your supply chain. It can also be registered in some supply chain where you are not the member of this supply chain. However, all these should be documented, justified, and you need to really consider all the types, all the routes of exposure. And when we're talking about registered use, you really must make sure that this use is the same that is your use in this article. So I think we will not stop here for too long. And if you are interested in more detail, just let us know. I strongly recommend this guidance on requirements for substances and articles. And on the slide, you can also find the link to it. It really can answer a lot of your questions. And there are some model situations how to proceed in different conditions. So, sorry, just one more slide about the safety data sheets. So what is very important, there is, there can be the update and revision of the safety data sheet. And here now we are talking about revision because it's a big change. And as you see on the red, in the red square, you should revise the SDS without a delay as soon as you have the new information which may affect the risk management measures or some new information on hazards becomes available. So of course, when there is a change of classification, this kind of change that triggers inclusion to SVHC list, this is a time when you need to make a revision and make it as soon as possible and provide the new information in your supply chain as soon as possible. And you can also find the link here to the guidance on compilation of SDSs. And am I giving the word now to Linda?
Thank you very much.
Let's focus on money.
Yeah. I will be very short because we know all the threats and the situation, and everybody can see money, the first thing behind all of this. So first of all, we have to realize that there are some registered uses of n-Hexane at industrial site or by professional workers. This is the information from registration dossiers. So these uses will probably be the first discussed when there will be some restriction or authorization. So let's think about it, because if it's your case, you have to think about the authorization or maybe about the alternatives. None of this situation or approaches is cheap. Everything is expensive, but you have to choose what is more feasible for you, for your situation. So REACH authorization, in general, it is long and demanding activity. It is a long process or project, and you should use it or apply it as a project within your organization. You need a large amount of data. You need a whole range of technical skills, because you need some toxicological evaluation, regulatory evaluation, knowledge on technical specialties related to the business, and so on and so on. So you really need a team of specialists for evaluation or preparation of authorization dossier. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it only yourself. One man is not enough. The team is necessary, and you have to think about it in that way. In general, completion of REACH authorization application before submission, before evaluation of ECHA, it requires at least 6 months. You will be very happy, but usually it's 18 months, no problem, because you need really a lot of data and a lot of evaluation. So it means that you are wanted time, money, and people, and maybe after that you will get the authorization that will allow you to sell your product and to make the business with your product. In general, there are direct costs, indirect costs. You have to think about. You need some consultants. You need some experts because you are not usually allowed or able to do it yourself. So it means, in general, it will cost 10,000s of euros just to prepare the dossier. After that, you will need to pay the ECHA fee, which is not nice price, but this is the standard fee for large companies. If you are a smaller company, you will have some discount. And the third indirect cost is time spent internally on the dossier. Definitely, you will need some people in your organization who will manage the project. So it's not cheap. You can choose the alternative. You have the R&D and so on, and other money, or to get to the authorization and other money. So money again on the first side, but you will spend the money on the authorization. But if you get the authorization, you will have the money from the business that will be allowed. So it's up to you, and good luck in your decision. So over to Stano and ladies.
So thank you to all three for the presentations, and we are running a bit late on time, so I'll try to prioritize people who asked live. I will also like to use this opportunity to remind everyone that we should be prepared to take your questions live. If you'd like to talk to us, feel free to simply raise your hand, and I will allow you to turn on your microphone. But before anyone gathers the courage to do so, let's move to the first question, and that is, we are already in the Q&A section. If you couldn't tell, this is the one. How the Q&A will work. So you ask questions, we discuss them with you, hopefully provide the answer. If we don't provide a full answer, do not hesitate to reach out to us. If we find that, I believe we already did, but if we find that one of the topics is good enough for a separate session or training or workshop, whatever, then we will also consider that as well. We will try to prioritize people who talk over people who ask live, over people who ask in the registrations. We have around, I think, 30, maybe 40 questions at the moment, so I will not delay this any further. We would like to hard stop at 11 if possible, and maybe move it to a different Q&A session later. Okay, Apurva is someone who actually asked first during the registration and also asked first during this webinar. So thank you, Apurva, for being so vigilant. And Apurva asked for the process or steps to notify ECHA for a substance inclusion. I believe the presentation already covered this. I know you worded your question a little differently in chat. Apurva, should you have any follow-up, let us know. I don't want to skip you or make you think that we didn't notice you. The presentation should have covered it, hopefully. So next one is something we already had in registrations, but I didn't want Frank to be oversight, overlooked. Yeah, that's the word. Frank is asking, how about aliphatic hydrocarbons substances? How about UVCB substances which include n-Hexane? We have a similar question to registrations, so I simply bumped Frank up a few levels. So how about UVCB?
I will take this. General UVCB substances are defined by its composition and by its, let's say, manufacture or the technology that is used for their usage or their preparation. So it means that you can, if you know that n-Hexane is a part of your UVCB, then you will need to consider the amount of n-Hexane. Usually there is some range. Yeah. Thank you. Range of the substance in the mixture, and you will take the worst case, and after that you will decide whether you re-evaluate or reclassify the substance or the classification of UVCB. So maybe that's the answer to the Frank's question.
Should you have any follow-up, Frank, let us know. Let's move to Viviana, who also asked live, so I also bumped her question up in the queue. Authorization process, how it works from the candidate list to prioritization list, recommendation, and final inclusion into Annex 14. Is there an estimated timeline? I also believe, Viviana, that you worded the question a little differently in the Q&A, but yeah, there is, hopefully we'll be able to answer this as well. The estimated timeline, as already mentioned, is, well, I don't want to say all over the place, but it can vary a lot. Any other notes you would like to add besides the presentations?
I would just maybe say that as there was this prioritization list that Yana showed on the slide, it will also really depend on how wide use is it for n-Hexane, for example. So in every case, it really differs. Yeah, and also we can see which substances are prioritized. So it's high volumes of substance, wide dispersive use, and PBT or VPVV properties. Yeah, it can take 2 years or more. So yeah, really hard to say how long exactly it will be.
Oh. We should be back to Vienna, all right? Okay, thank you. Next one is by Monica. When substance is included into candidate list, is there any transition period for industry to change MSDS, or MSDS should be updated immediately?
It's not just about a candidate list, but for example, the hexane or n-Hexane was changed the classification, and there is a new regulation. Then when is established the date of application, and probably it will be some transitional period in this document. I'm not sure, but normally there is some transitional period for reclassification and for changing the safety data sheet, but
in general,
it's under
it should be as soon as possible.
Without undue delay.
It's
this is the
it was it was proposal in a CLP update that what means under undue delay, but no, it's not. It wasn't accepted, but so it's under delay. So immediately it's the best way to be compliant.
Let's move on to Scott, who asked, is there any database where you can find a kind of overview about which products usually contain one or more listed SVHCs in order to screen internally our potential product categories?
Yeah, I think I can take this question. Yeah, it's actually the SCIP database, so you can filter there by the substance that is included, by the SVHC substance that you are interested in, also by the product category, by the custom codes, for example. So this is another good use of the SCIP database, that you can really make some kind of risk assessment based on what other companies have notified there.
Yeah, and also it's maybe database is a list of intentions and SVHC database. There are a lot of databases, and you can find it in a ECHA homepage in a section substances. Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Scott. Let's move on to Rajnish, who asked, what are the obligations if we are using n-Hexane in the substance registered under EU REACH as a solvent?
From my point of view, it's because n-Hexane was changing the classification, so it's necessary to change registration dossier. Also, if you have safety chemical safety report, it's necessary to update it because of stronger classification, as well as exposure scenarios. So lead registrant must update the documentation, and also joint submission members has to update it as well, and prepare updated safety data sheet. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and of course inform your supply chain.
Sure.
Yep. Let's move to Roberto, who asked multiple follow-up questions to this registration one, so hopefully you will be able to answer them all in one go. What are the best practices to adapt for a laboratory which uses big quantities of n-Hexane in several different analytical methods? And then he clarifies that they are a big laboratory who use almost 15,000 liters of n-Hexane yearly as a solvent, so approximately 15. Yeah.
I believe if you are using laboratory chemistry, or you probably is not just one hazardous substances, maybe it's more, and I believe the laboratory has some system or how to work with substances with high concern, especially some training for the workers, maybe labeling, storage, and I think it's in laboratory is standard of uses of high concern substances, so it's use it in the same way, and I think it's safe.
Mm-hmm. I will intersect this with a follow-up question by Christina, who adds that the use at industrial site of n-Hexane solvent in an extraction process doesn't seem to be covered. Can you clarify at which step a registrant should request the inclusion of a registered use to be considered? First step would be for the lead registrant to update the dossier with this identified use?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Roberto then follows up that the the standard methods they follow require the n-Hexane explicitly? Will it be possible that the international authorities decide to bulk change the n-Hexane with a different substance for those methods? And one more thing, as a laboratory, will we need the authorization if we need to continue to use the n-Hexane?
In general, using in laboratory, it's quite a control process because laboratories are in general well equipped. They know how to behave, how to handle these hazardous substances. So usually laboratory use could be exempted from the authorization or restriction, but we don't know yet. We have to check after the decision is made, and when it will not be exempted, then the authorization will follow and will be necessary if you would like to use it. But in general, if an n-Hexane is recommended solvent or extraction material for laboratory methods and is used widespread, then I think the committee will consider it as necessary, because if there is no no adequate alternative, then they will consider definitely this use as a potential as a use with a low potential of risk.
Yes.
What I would also recommend for everyone, if you are affected by possible problems, possible changes with the movement of this substance to authorization list or any other substance, please be active. Please collect all the information why this use is crucial for you, important for you, why you need this substance. And when it's a public consultation, everyone can submit their comments. So I really recommend you to do that.
Yep, I agree. And as I mentioned in my presentation, in future probably will be some changes in the process of authorization. So maybe it will be a little bit different way, or maybe the way of restriction. So we don't know what will happen in future. So maybe it will be something changed. So
Future, so uncertain.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes, rich revision has the potential to shake things up a lot, but the current precedents, I believe, is that research and development are more likely to be exempted from authorization than other fields. I hope we answered your array of questions, Roberto. If you should have any more, please let us know. Oh, you have one more. About the waste, will we need to alert the waste disposers about the content of n-Hexane in the waste we confer to them?
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
But waste is not part of REACH. It's a different law or different regulations, but yes, it's hazardous waste, and it's necessary.
Sorry for using you, Roberto, as this model case, but you signed up for it. So let's move to Viviana clarifying. I will try to shorten this whole question into the last step in the slide, into authorization final inclusion. How long does the final step take? If a substance is already recommended from ECA since 2023, when can we expect it to be included in the Annex 14? And will the EU Commission sort of sort it by date, or can they choose from all recommendations in one go? I don't believe there's a limit for them to just pick one substance per time, right? They can basically do the whole list.
No, because it depends on the process of s.r.o. and SCIP.
Yes.
Because there are public consultations, some new evidences maybe will come through this tool, and they have to evaluate it again.
Yeah.
And they don't have the strict date when they have to decide.
Yeah. I will read aloud one note by Frank, who said, please consider that all authorizations have a limited time for the usage of the substance before you have to review and apply for another extended time of usage. That's a really good comment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for this note.
I will move on to Alexandra, who asked that they want to understand the obligations and process for SVHC reporting and the SCIP portal. Jana.
Yes, I think we are taking this question as the sign for us that there is an interest for maybe some webinar with more details. In general, if you have the article that has over 0.1% of SVHC substance, you have to submit the dossier to the SCIP database, which is done. I cannot say that it's that easy because I do it very often, but we are here to help if you need any consultation on that.
Yeah, or maybe wait for omnibus results.
Yeah,
and that will
exactly.
be like, who knows?
Yes. We are getting multiple messages from different people that we are not answering their questions. I'm deeply sorry for everyone who isn't making the list at the moment, but we are sort of short on time. But we will try to bundle all the questions together and create a separate session at this point. Yes. So I try to pick a few more from what we are receiving now, which aren't too specific, because I believe that the attendees might be interested in the more broad ones. Which might be this one by Katarzyna, who asks, which steps shall a company using cleaners with n-Hexane substance take? How to manage suppliers and protect employees? So this is more focused on the supply chain, I guess, rather than just one use of n-Hexane.
Yeah, so use safety data sheet. There are obligations or especially in section 8.2, there are there are protective equipments and also protective measures and etc. etc. So focused on this section, and it's necessary to inform your employees according safety data sheets with information from safety data sheet for safe use. So I think is enough. And if you have exposure scenario, you have to use it for your special use. This obligation.
So it means in general to inform your clients and also to train your employees.
Yeah.
And if you will find that there is no information from your supplier, you will have to aware them that they should inform you and provide you with the information.
I believe this also covers the question by Anya, who asked this, and I will use this opportunity to highlight one comment which honestly made my day. I come from academia, and I left academia with a sour taste in my mouth, but this particular comment makes me want to enter academia again. So I would like to thank Isabel for appreciating us and also to spreading the word to the academic sphere. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It's for what we do it not just for money, because we work for money. It's true, but this is something for very, very important for us to do it for something good, something.
Useful.
I like it. I like it very much. Thank you.
Okay, I queue up two final questions before we quit the session. Should your question not be answered, please use the link to the feedback form, which I included in chat. That's the best way to let us know what you want, what you expect from future webinars, and also we will try to prioritize that with the future session as well. Konrad asked, what kind of plastic products can we expect the presence of n-Hexane in?
In general, this is the question, this is the topic that is related to communication within the supply chain. We can't define, we are not able to define in which kind of plastic products we could expect presence of n-Hexane. This is the question to your supplier. Ask them whether n-Hexane is presented or not. And if you know that, if you get this information, you have to share this information down the supply chain.
Yeah, I was also thinking that maybe one of options you have is maybe to search in the SCIP database also by the material and the n-Hexane, or but since it's a new substance in the SVHC list, probably there will be not that many of articles. So yeah, I would agree with Linda that you need to make a research in your supply chain first.
We'll follow this up with one final question, which actually is like two people. I'm trying to bundle them up together as well. So it's in a presentable format. Oh, for some reason, doesn't work. Yeah, because I'm just slow. Sitting on too many chairs at the moment. Let's look at Lydia and Dorte, who asked how to clearly implement to SDS or labels the addition of substances into candidate list, and anything we need to address or handle when updating the SDS. So
yes, it's usually probably in a section 2 when is component there are components. There is a possibility to mention that its component is on the candidate list, or it's also usual to be mentioned in section 15, where are regulations which are connected with the substance, and I think it's 15 and 2. It's enough.
Okay.
And it's 2.
In general, when you mention the candidate list or SVHC in section 2.1, then you should have it also on label, I think, because it's the composition, and if it's related to the composition, maybe you can use it on label, but it's not in general necessary. You have to share the information, and it's not set the way how it should be done. So the SDS is the best way how to share the information, because you have to provide the SDS in general, and everybody should be aware that information listed here are important and should be used to behave safely with the substance or mixture.
With this final note, Linda, thank you very much. I would like to conclude this webinar because we are already 4 minutes past the initial deadline. Apologies for the delay. We'll try to be better next time. We still hope that you enjoyed this session. We certainly did. Oh, I certainly did, at least. And I would like also to remind one of the first slides, which is the PCMC. And if you'd like to discuss these topics in further detail, I believe this conference is the best way to do so in the coming months. And also, I left the link for the feedback form, and I do not say this lightly. It helps a ton. It may seem like a minute lost, but it's a minute gained for us. Not a minute. You know, we try to prioritize what you actually want us to discuss. So we try to prepare for what the need is for. I'm just running in circles at the moment. Thank you, everyone, for attending the webinars. Thank you, Yana, and Linda, for talking to me and to everyone else in chat. Thank you for attending and for being so active.
Thank you, Stano, for moderating and for all your technical support.
It's very useful.
One final note, we are having another webinar on Tuesday, and we are trying to hold one every week from now on. So let's keep in touch. Let's talk.
Thank you.
See you around.
See you.
Thank you. See you. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.